Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So a few days ago, I posted on my community tab that Charlotte Tilbury had come out with a new product. So if you watched any of my makeup videos, you will know that I am a huge fan of the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize formula. Well, she randomly came out with a matte formula because her other formula is shimmery and it's beautiful. I'm actually going to be working on a video of ranking all the shades that I have, which I have most of the ones that have ever come out. I have a couple that are discontinued that I do not have, but for the most part I have all of them. I am working on a ranking video of that, but then all of a sudden she's coming out with 5 new shades and they are matte. So I posted about it and I decided to pick up a couple, and then I ended up getting all 5 because I really couldn't figure out which ones I wanted, and really I think each one is going to be used for a different purpose. So I went ahead and picked up all 5. So I'm going to be trying out all 5 today. So from the Charlotte Tilbury website, it states, combining the famous long-lasting smoothing powers of my iconic Eyes to Mesmerize cream eyeshadows with a new matte formula, these miracle pots are the secret to a red carpet smoky eye in seconds. And as I stated, they do come in 5 shades. So the lightest is, the lightest is Nude Cashmere, I believe. Yes, it's Nude Cashmere. And then it's Flawless Beige, Smokey Taupe, Chocolate Veil, and Diffused Black. So one of the things that I liked about them is that you can use them as a matte eyeshadow, or it also states that you can use them as a liner. So I used to use a gel liner and I haven't done that in a very, very long time, but I figured if I could, I might do that. And I'd be curious to try and use this, like even the black as an eyeshadow. I'm not sure how talented I am and if I can do it, but I'm gonna try. But I also like, doing a light nude color in the waterline, and I think you can use that for Nude Cashmere and the Flawless Beige as well. So let's go ahead and try these out. Now, the first shade is the Nude Cashmere. The Nude Cashmere is the lightest shade, and I have used the Painterly Prolonged Paint Pot from MAC for a long time as a eyeshadow base. So I wanted to compare. So here is the Nude Cashmere, and then this is the Painterly Pot from MAC. So if you compare the two together, the colors are very similar. However, I believe the textures are different. So I'm gonna kind of compare them and see, I guess how they compare. So I'm gonna go in first with Painterly and just kind of swatch it here on my hand. As you can see, it is very nude. It goes on very, very creamy. Now, one of the things, I just started playing with this, definitely a different texture. This is definitely not as creamy, definitely much more matte. So I don't think, while the color is very similar, I'm not sure if it's so much of an eyeshadow base. So there you can see the one on this side, and it's really very, very faint. This is the Painterly and this is the Nude Cashmere. This is very, the Painterly Paint Pot from MAC is much creamier. This is definitely a drier eyeshadow. It feels like it's already drying down, where the paint pot is not. Still a little creamy, so definitely a completely different texture. I kind of thought they would be similar, but different texture. Now, actually, as they've dried down, they're very similar. So as they died down a little bit, they're very, very similar. Now, obviously this is on my hand, not on my eyes, but I guess you could probably use the Nude Cashmere as an eyeshadow base as well. It's obviously very nude, but I do really like it. Now, Charlotte Tilbury describes Nude Cashmere as, it is a soft nude that you can swipe for a natural veil of color and even looking base, or a line for defined eyes in seconds. So let's go ahead and try it. So the 2 brushes I'm going to be using today to apply, I'm going to be using my 32 Rephr, and then to kind of buff it out will be the BK Beauty 201. Again, I haven't tried these yet, so I'm hoping these work. I may change, but that's what I'm going to be using to start. Okay, so I got my little Baby Yoda mirror, and I'm going to apply, one on each eye, and then I will end with, I think, Smokey Taupe, which is the one in the middle. I'm going to end with that one. So as I'm applying it, kind of takes a little bit. It kind of feels like it needs to be warmed up a little bit to pick up the product. Obviously, this is a very, very light shade, but it does apply very, very evenly. Okay, now I'm going in with the buffer. So it is a very, very just light wash of color. I tend to like a little bit more color, so I would probably use this more as an eyeshadow base, but I do really like it. I don't regret it. I definitely will probably use this also as a liner, but it's a really pretty wash of color. I think it would also be really pretty with like a glitter topper. I have the ones from Hourglass, so I think that would be really pretty, but I do really like the color. It's just very, very, it's very pale, even for me who is just pale. Okay, so this is Nude Cashmere, and I went ahead and also went in with the as a waterline eyeliner, which I did really like. So nude is just going to pop your eyes, so I do really like it. I would probably use this not on its own. I would probably use this more as a base, or if I was going to be using some glitter, you know, maybe some glitter or something that could pop. Really pretty, but I do like it, but I'm hoping that I like the other ones more. Okay, next up is the Flawless Beige, and Charlotte describes it as a beautiful beige shade that you can swipe for a neutral veil of color or an even looking base, or line for defined eyes in seconds. I think that was pretty much what it said for Nude Cashmere, but here is Flawless Beige, so definitely a little darker. I think I'm going to like this one more. I think for Nude Cashmere, I think it's more of a base, or if you're just going to be putting something very, very light, but I think this is going to be for a little bit more pop of color. Okay, again, I'm going in with my Rephr 32, and I'm gonna apply it to the lid and then buff it out with my BK Beauty. And I'm already liking this shade more just because it does give a little bit more color. Definitely light, but it's really pretty beige. And now I'm going in with my BK Beauty 201 and just gonna buff out the edges. And this color I think is beautiful. It's really pretty all over the lid. Does just give a hint of color, but very, very subtle. So this one I think is one that could be worn on its own. The Nude Cashmere, I don't think it's, for me, I couldn't wear it on its own. I think it needs a little something, but this one is definitely one I could wear on its own. And I think this is really perfect. I mean, who goes in the office anymore? But if you do go in the office, I think this is a really pretty shade to go into the office. Really, really pretty. Okay, so I went in and lined it with my Rephr 23 at the bottom. I didn't do the waterline, and this shade I love. I think it's really pretty. I think it's a really great everyday shade. I just absolutely love the shade. So this is the Flawless Beige. So this is the second to lightest one. So if you're not looking for a eyeshadow base, this is probably the one you probably want to get. Okay, so I've now cleaned my eyes. I will tell you, I tried to go in with a makeup wipe. It didn't work. Would not take it off. So I actually had to go in with an oil-based eye makeup remover to get it off my eyes. So that's good. I mean, not good if you're trying to do what I'm doing, but if you are looking for eyeshadow that's going to have longevity, that was really good because it took some effort and I had to let my eyes calm down for a bit because they were pretty red. So I did go in with some foundation and some translucent powder. Did not put primer, but just to let you know, it was some effort to take it off. I'm gonna go now with the two darker shades, and I'm gonna end with the the middle shade, which is I think Smokey Taupe. So the fourth shade is Chocolate Veil, and here it is. Let's see, there you go. That is Chocolate Veil, and it is described, now they're all pretty much the size as the same. It is a soft chocolate brown shade that you can swipe for a flattering veil of color, smoke in the crease using the eye blender brush for an easy smoky eye, or line for dreamy defined eyes in seconds. So it's pretty much the same, except it talks about being smoky, which with the Flawless Beige and the Nude Cashmere, it didn't, mainly because those are very light shades. So let's go ahead and check this one out. Now, because this is a darker shade, I'm gonna go in a little bit lighter handed than I did with the other two. I'm gonna pat on because I'm afraid I'm not that talented when it comes to makeup, and especially for darker shades. So I'm gonna just go in very, very lightly because you can always add more. It's harder to take off. So there, I've applied it all on the lid, and now I'm gonna go in with the BK Beauty 201 and just buff out the edges to smooth it out. And I'm really liking this one. So there it is buffed out, and now I'm gonna go in with the Rephr 23 liner brush, and I'm going to line the bottom, the lash line. So I'm having a little issues just there, but I think that's just because I had to take off the makeup with oil, so there might be some little remnants. But this is the Chocolate Veil, and I'm telling you that I've never been able to do like a smoky eye. This makes it so easy. I don't think I could do this with regular powder eyeshadow. This was really, really simple. You just kind of go in light-handed. I am loving this. So this is the Chocolate Veil. Gonna go in with the black now. That's gonna be the true test, but this one I really like. Okay, next up is going to be the darkest shade, and that is Diffused Black. So as you can see, it looks a little bit different in the pot. So this is Diffused Black. Charlotte Tilbury describes it as a smoky black shade that you can swipe for a flattering veil of color, smoke into the crease using the eye blender brush for an easy smoky eye, or line for magically defined eyes in seconds. So pretty much the same description, but it is Diffused Black. So let's try it out. Now it did look different in the pot, but it's picking up the same. So I'm going to apply it. And again, I'm just, ooh, that's black. That is black. So I think I might have put a little too much. It definitely went on a lot darker than the chocolate. The chocolate didn't seem to go on that dark, but this one went on a lot darker. Okay, so now I'm buffing it out with the BK Beauty 201. And it's definitely getting a little lighter. It's definitely dark. I've never been able to do this, but given that I'm doing this on a camera with a little Baby Yoda mirror, it's pretty easy, especially, I don't think it's looking too bad. I think it's actually looking pretty good. So I think once I'm at a like regular makeup mirror, it'll come out a lot better, but I've never been able to do this type of look with regular shadow. So the fact that I'm able to do this first time pretty easily says a lot. So again, I just went in with a liner with my Rephr 23, and I am impressed because again, I've never been able to do a smoky eye like this. And not only am I able to do it, it's effortless. Like it is so easy, and I'm just loving it. Now, obviously I don't have lashes on. I don't have a highlighter or anything like that, but I think it is absolutely stunning. I am sold on these. I can't wait to try now the Smokey Taupe. Okay, and the last shade is the middle shade. So it is called Smokey Taupe, and it is described as a taupe shade that you can swipe for a flattering veil of color, smoke into the crease using the eye blender brush for an easy smoky eye, or line for a magically defined eye in seconds. So same description, it's just that it's a taupe shade. So I'm gonna apply this on both sides and then come back and wrap up. Okay, so I already finished the one eye, and I'm gonna go back in with the second one. So again, this is the Smokey Taupe shade, and it's it's just a taupe shade, very cool toned. So if you're kind of afraid of a black, this might be the shade you want to get. And now I'm going back in and buffing, smoothing out the edges. Okay, I did finish up with a liner, and here is the final look of the Smokey Taupe. Now, before we do swatches, I did want to note that I did leave the Painterly, the MAC paint pot, and the Nude Cashmere on my hand. I just kind of left it there because you really can't even see it. But the Painterly has wiped off. The MAC paint pot, it's for the most part come off, whereas the Nude Cashmere is very much there. So if you are, now I would say of the 5, the Nude Cashmere is probably my least favorite, just because it is mainly kind of a base. or an eyeshadow base, or very, very light wash of color, and or a great nude waterline eyeliner. So that's great. It's just not something that I would typically use. However, I do like the Painterly paint pot. So I'm really curious because the paint pot just pretty much wiped off. I've been doing this, filming this for about a little over an hour between takes and wiping my eyes and everything. And the Nude Cashmere has stayed and the Painterly has pretty much come off. So shades are very similar, but Nude Cashmere lasts a lot longer. So with that, let's go ahead and do some swatches. So I'm gonna go in first with the Nude Cashmere, and it is very nude, so you're not gonna really be able to see too much. Next up is going to be the Flawless Beige. Okay, next up is going to be Smokey Taupe, which is the one I have on my eyes right now. Fourth is going to be Chocolate Veil. And the fifth one is going to be Diffused Black. And there you go. Those are the 5 shades. Again, Nude Cashmere, Flawless Beige, Smokey Taupe, Chocolate Veil, and Diffused Black. Now, before we finish, I did want to try, since I have Smokey Taupe on both sides, I did want to go in with the Scattered Light from Hourglass, which is basically a eyeshadow topper, and go in and see how it looks on top of the taupe. So the first one I'm going to go in with is the, let's see, it is the Molten shade. It is kind of like a purple, and I'm just going to go in with my Rephr 27, and I'm just going to pat it on the lid. And yes, this looks really, really pretty. So if you can see, it just goes, if you put it right on the lid and just smooth it out, it's really, really pretty. I'm going to go in with another shade on the other eye. So on the other eye, I'm going to go in with the shade Ray, and again with the same brush I just cleaned. And let's see, whoops, let's see. Yes, so I think this is perfect. This is, I think, the perfect base for these scattered lights. So if you have this, or if you have a similar eyeshadow, I think it's perfect. So that is the Ray, which is kind of like a taupe, and then this is the Molten, which is somewhat of a purple. So with that, I have 2 different color eyeshadows right now. I am in love with these. I think they're amazing. I thought I was not gonna like these as much as the original ones. I think I actually like them more. The black is by far my favorite because I've never been able to achieve that look on my own with regular eyeshadow. I think the taupe, the Smokey Taupe, is probably my second favorite. My least is definitely the Nude Cashmere, but I will definitely get use out of it. Just probably not as much as the others. But I'm curious to see how it works compared to the Painterly pot. I think it's probably going to be better than the MAC Painterly, but the other 4 shades I think are beautiful as eyeshadows. As you can see, I did put how you can change the look with the Scattered Light from Hourglass, or a different type of eyeshadow primer or topper, maybe even the ColourPop Super Shadows. I think this is fantastic. So I am so happy I got all 5 shades. They run $34, and they do have a special where if you get one of the matte shades and one of the original shades, you can pick. I think it's $64, so you do get a little bit of a discount. So if I find any discount codes, I will put a code in the description box below. But I would say if you are on the fence about these, absolutely get them. And if you've ever wanted to do like a smoky eye and have struggled with it, I would say go for the black or the chocolate brown. Try it. I think it really makes it easy. It really just makes it really easy to do. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.